that. Yes. Welcome back. I'm Tedward. Welcome to beautiful, foggy Montana. I assure you we're going to get some beautiful views here in Big Sky later on. But today we're driving the GMC Canyon AT4X AEV edition. Now, you've already seen the AT4X, the standard AT4X, on the channel. We did some fun driving out in Asheville, and it's a very capable pickup truck. But now with the AEV edition, we're getting even more. So yes, we're gonna retain those DSSV multi-matic dampers and all those good things. But instead of these tires, these bumpers, and maybe a slight dearth of skid plates, we get 35-inch tires. We get an extra lift, and we get more boron stamped steel skid plates underneath to make sure that we don't break anything. The stance of this thing is absolutely outrageous. We're airing down because we're going to do some off-roading today. We're going down to 25 PSI, and I'm pretty psyched. Now, the AEV edition gets this spare in the back, takes a bit of space out of your already fairly short truck bed. I know that's something that's concerned a lot of people about the new Colorado and Canyon, is the fact that they're all quad cabs now and that the bed got a little shorter. Say hello to Eddie, my co-driver today. And so yeah, that's definitely going to take a little bit away from you in terms of usable space, but I would rather have a spare than not have a spare. Now, we've spent some time with the Sierra 1500 AT4X AEV edition. I really dig that truck. It's just that it's too big for me and too big for the New England roads. Honestly, this is the correct size, and every time I pull up to an event or something in a Canyon or Colorado, people are always shocked that this is the mid-size truck. It looks big. This feels like the size of the old Sierra and Silverado back in the day. Of course, we're still powered by our 4-cylinder high-output turbo. It sounds very diesel-y when you get into the boost. It makes all kinds of fun sounds, and I'm just excited for this fog to lift because it's going to be a beautiful day out here at elevation. We're getting up to about 8,000 feet later today. Right now we're at 4826. We actually started at 7,000 feet, so it should be interesting to see what goes on. Out of a foggy parking lot and to an abandoned mine, we're gonna go do some proper off-roading. I mean, I'm not sure how challenging these trails are gonna be, especially for this truck, because this is darn capable. And I just want to make note that even the Sierra AT4X AEV edition gets 33-inch tires, while this Canyon gets 35. So these are no joke. And I'm just excited to go get a little more muddy out here. They all look darn proper in the mud, and I just want to spin some tires, have some fun, and climb some rocks. So let's jump in and go for a drive. If I could get this, oh man. See, here's something. I wish this had the handle right here. And this always makes for kind of a terrible step. It's super awkward. Oh, oh boy. And we're in. The controls on these new Canyons are so easy. We can select our mode right here, so we can go into terrain mode, off-road mode, Baja mode, and then our 4 high, 4 low, and 2 high, or auto, depending on how much you trust what it's going to do and what kind of decisions it's going to make. And over here, we've got our rear locker and our front locker. So we've got some fail safes if things get really gnarly and we super duper mess up. Luckily, we have lots of friends here and probably some tow straps to help us out all on the way. Don't anticipate that, but you never know. And one trick with these trucks is they have these great camera systems, so you can look like to your side, to the front, to the back, and underneath the truck. The underneath the truck thing is pretty great because you're able to see right where it's going to hit that pumpkin. And right here, it's pretty muddy, but if you hit this button right here, we can actually blast off the mud with windshield wiper fluid. And now it's clear enough. It's not ideal, it's not the best thing in the world, but it is pretty darn good that you're able to clear that off. Into drive, in terrain mode, 1 pedal driving. Makes it super easy to ascend and descend without having to jump to the brake frequently. First couple of things you notice. Number 1, heated steering wheel, because we're in a GMC. We're in the luxury truck, so your Colorado Trail boss, I don't think, gets that kind of stuff. I do have heated seats here as well, because you know what? While I'm out here on the trail, I might as well feel cozy and comfortable. I've got some great screens here that are going to give me information. You can see that we've aired down to around 25 PSI, which is great. And I can see the pitch and roll of the truck. The steering in these trucks are incredibly light and easy. And that's kind of nice because even though I don't get all the granularity and texture feedback into my fingertips, it does make it so it's never stealing the wheel from me. I'm not worried that if I had my thumbs interlocked in here, I'm gonna break them. In addition to that, these 4-cylinder turbo engines have an electric water pump now, and that means that even if we are just crawling, if it's hot, we're in the desert, we're doing all kinds of gnarly stuff, that is going to spin at a rate that is going to actually keep coolant and water flowing properly through this engine rather than relying on the revs. So this should be relatively stout in terms of keeping this thing at a good homeostasis. Yeah, we've got some nice big fun rocks to play with right now. We're gonna get to use these 35-inch tires for what God intended. Oh yes. You can feel that articulation using the back and front. Put up our off-road stuff. We don't really need those cameras right now. This trail is not that tight, and this is where the size of the Canyon is king, because the Canyon is it's not a small truck by older standards, but by today's standards, this thing is kind of in that Goldilocks zone. Now we get to play with a little bit of articulation here. This is fun. I'm hoping we get to see some serious mud today, because that would make me a happy, happy boy. We're gonna be bad. We're just gonna drop a wheel into this rut. And it just takes it. I mean, this is like nearly too easy. So now I'm jonesing for some really ugly stuff, man. Off to our left, a little bit of a cliff, survivable, but you know.
Let's not test that.
Raises the stakes nonetheless. What, Eddie, you don't want to try it? You don't want to see the roll resistance of the AEV?
I'll hop out and I'll take a video of it.
Come on. But this is what's fun, is that now we've got some camber that's tipping us toward the cliff, which is always entertaining. And I'm just going to exacerbate that a little bit because, you know, I'm a clown. And that's what's going to happen. These little 4-cylinder turbos are pretty charming, and I love the sounds they make because they sound like diesels. They kind of built them to emulate the low-end torque of a diesel engine while being a gas engine. Now, we're going to hit this wheel, not falling off. I guess we're going to have to, someone knock that out, because now
it wasn't in the trail.
It was definitely not in the trail before, and now I'm going to have to go really far wide here in a way that I'm not super thrilled about, but yeah, see, that's a problem. That was not in the trail. We might need to move that, yeah. Actually. Yeah, unfortunately. All right. Nah, see, I'm going to get hung up on it.
Okay, come forward. Come forward. Good, about 2 feet, a foot. Okay, now keep going. Slowly on this one. We might crack the wood. Perfect.
There we go. All right. And we're off.
Okay, how we doing back there?
When are you going to try to cut the walk?
Okay, standing by.
All right, we're going to go catch up to the front of the crew and tell them what we're up to. But I think we're good now. It's just interesting because that log jammed us up more than anticipated.
We're going to get all our people back into trucks and let you know when we're rolling.
Copy.
Yeah, see, I've lost sight of these two big rocks, but not to worry because I've got them in my sights right here on the big camera, and we're going over them now. But again, this thing is just taking it like an absolute champ. There's really no concerns here. This is pretty great. Let's see. Coming up on some gnarly stuff. This is the kind of stuff that you don't want to just slam back down on the suspension, because you do not want to be bottoming out on any of these big rocks. I would rather sacrifice paint than a transmission or a differential today. Our group ahead is slowly gaining confidence in their truck's capabilities. Their speeds are starting to ramp up a little bit. I think, you know, it's always a little disconcerting when you're driving someone else's truck and that's poking up at the top. You know, you definitely want to be confident that you're not about to crack something. The good news is we do have enough seats that we could probably take a lot of people home if they do crack up their trucks. I don't think that's the case.
Space in the bed. They can hang on to the tire, the spare tire.
So I think we figured out where those trucks are getting stuck. He can still dig his way out maybe, but what we're gonna do is, so we don't get stuck, we are gonna engage our rear locker, which is lovely and easy with the piano keys down here. All you do is tap and boom, we are ready to go. We'll let him reset and then we'll make our best attempt to glide over that with ease.
We've got 35s too. So.
Yeah, we got 35.
I know.
Easier.
I just want to let them get through that because I would like to not have to stop anywhere. Ooh, I'm gonna, you know what? I gotta turn down my heated seats a little bit. Just a little toasty in here.
What's the pressure getting to you?
Oh yeah, sweating it out. Is this where I want to be? No, I want to be further over. Hang on. I want that because I want a piece of that rock. But I also don't want to fall off that edge. That's it.
That's perfect.
There we go. Easy.
Straight through. That's the stuff.
Nice job.
Look at
Seriously.
that. That makes me happy.
Hit that line perfectly.
Woohoo.
From the front camera, I honestly thought that ditch was a little more sketchy.
Yeah.
So I was like, ooh, I don't know. And then I took a look and I'm like, oh no, we can go way left on that. That's
Camera's
great.
good for placing things, but depth perception is a little more difficult.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely tells you when you're about to like biff it.
Yes, that is true. Good job, Tedward. You did it.
We nailed it. For me, the best part of overlanding isn't necessarily even the driving. And the driving can be challenging and rewarding, but it's the places it takes you and being able to go places like this, where you're looking straight down like a ravine at a raging river, and then you've got mountains up all around you. Like, this is so much fun, and I can't do this in my 911. I can't do this in my Type R, but I can do this in my truck. And I guess at the end of the day, if the purpose of driving, if the purpose of your vehicles is to take you to wild and great places, trucks cannot be understated in what they're capable of doing for you, because I can drive on any ordinary road in any ordinary car. And sometimes I'm even more restricted by how exciting the car is. The more exciting the sports car, probably the more restrictive it is to actually driving at places, because we certainly know that there are Aventadors that can't make it into certain gas stations. And,
Accurate. Yes.
and like, yeah, maybe it'll take you on like a fun road trip, but you have to plan that kind of crap. Whereas in this, I don't have to plan anything. I just have to make sure that I don't fall off a cliff in a fog. I don't think we actually need this rear locker here, but we're gonna turn it on for fun anyway. And we're gonna go do a little step up on this stuff. This looks pretty gnarly. Like, if I was by myself, I don't know that I would necessarily feel comfortable tackling this, but because I've just seen all these other trucks do it, I know that we are good to go. Look at that. Yes. Carry a little momentum through, stay in the pedal, but not too hard, because we don't want to rebound onto the differential anywhere. And I think if we stay a little bit to the left here on this line, that's going to keep the center of the truck nice and safe while we go over some of this stuff. This is just beautiful. Starting to see a little snow, kind of excited about that. And then we'll stop off right over here to let Eddie rejoin us. I'm going to turn off the rear locker for the rest of this to see how we do, because I feel like that's kind of a cheater mode, and you know, this is good stuff, but it's not outrageously difficult.
Yeah, this is along with the good.
Copy that. Thanks.
Oh yeah, that's the stuff.
This is getting fun.
Now we're good. I'm going to pick up the rear on this rock here so I can pick up the front on that rock there. Oh yeah. You can hear the front grabbing at us. That's good. Really playing with the articulation game here. You can't tell that much from inside the truck, but I guarantee if you looked outside, you'd see some fun compression in the rear there. Now, like I said, we turn the rear locker off for this because it's like, you know, we don't need the cheater mode on this. I want to show you what this can do, just kind of like all open. This kind of terrain can be interesting because it changes with the weather, right? If there's snow on it, obviously slippery. If there's water, they're slippery. And then some of these rocks are not really mounted in place in the ground. There's some loose shale here. So that's kind of putting the tires grip to the test a little bit, but we are through, and then we're gonna make sure that we don't blast off the roof of the truck with this nice and clear. And that's one of those things where I'm like, if we had a roof nest on this, like, now we have some sawing to do.
I was making sure you were going to take my GoPro off.
I forgot about your GoPro.
There's snow.
I
What
love to
elevation
see
are we
snow.
at? We are... No, I'm going to beat you to it.
The watch tells me 80.
84.20.
I see 83.75. I'll trust that because my watch is
50
always a little
50 feet
low.
discrepancy.
That's pretty good. Oh yeah, getting into it. And it looks like this adventure is going to have a bit of a view payoff coming up, and it's not disappointing. Montana, man, you really got some things to offer here. Oh my
Holy
goodness,
crap.
this is great. Sun's coming out. It's looking nice. Oh, look at that, and look at the mountain range out to the left. That's unbelievable. The plains down there. This is some really cool stuff out here, guys. Wowzers, this is beautiful. GMC hooking it up with this program. This could have been phoned in. This could have been lame. This could have been like, yeah, come out and drive some trucks, set up some obstacles. No. They took us out to somewhere gnarly and fun and beautiful to really get in the vibe of what you can do with these trucks. And I am absolutely here for it. Oh yeah. A nice slippery dirt to play with. Yeah, settle it into the rut. Keep on the power. Find our way through without nailing the log. That's the stuff. And then we'll go nice and slow through here so we don't trash that. We're golden. Yes. And holy shit, the payoff up here. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, guys, I need a truck. I need a truck. What should I be buying? Because this is looking pretty good right now. Oh my God. Yes.
The view. As you come out of the trees.
Oh man.
Oh man, the water.
Are you kidding me? Hang on, I need to...
Montana, you're unfair.
There's no one behind us, right? I need to get this as my thumbnail. Like this. Boom, thumbnail. That's the thumbnail. Actually, yeah. Like this. How close is that rock? Are we good? We can get up nice and close. There it is. Okay, boom. That's it. we're finishing off this part of the day in the regular AT4X, which is wildly capable, but not as cushy as the 35s on the AEV. But up here, we have a beautiful view of a lovely cow. We love cows. If you don't love cows, get out of here, man. Come on. Like if you love cows. Anyway, we're gonna go, actually, this is sad because I'm about to go eat cow.
You did.
Oh, I really did. I ordered a ribeye steak. All right, we're gonna go finish this off downhill in some of this fun stuff, and then we're gonna grab lunch before we jump into the 2500 HD. So, if you've got questions about Canyon, AT4X or AT4X AEV, shoot them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer, but you know, biggest difference is not that this was really like a comparo video, but considering I'm in it right now, we might as well have a conversation. The AEV gives you a lot more confidence because I believe there's more skid plates underneath that, and because you've got a little extra ground clearance, you can really get around some ugly stuff. We found that we were riding the side protection bars and stuff on this just a little more if you don't hit things just right on the regular AT4X. So still wildly capable, but the other thing is that a 33 versus a 35-inch tire, man, oh man, is that night and day. That is like S-Class versus BAC mono in terms of comfort levels. So we are talking about some real comfortable ride quality on some gnarly dirt roads in an AEV. But you can always go ahead and throw some big old tires on this, but just make sure you're aware that you're probably gonna have to start cutting some things because, you know, it's not fully designed for those, but those of you who are DIYers are gonna get along just fine. So thank you so much for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. Let's have a fun little downhill. Don't forget to respect the drive, and I'll see you in the next one.